Listen, we have a great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real relevant and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. I am super excited about being here with you today. Today, we're going to talk about, can you really choose to be happy? Is happiness a choice, or is it something that is within all of us to just say, yeah, I can be happy, I can be sad, I'm all over the place emotionally and mentally. So can we choose and embrace happiness? That's our topic today. So as you all come into the virtual studio audience, what I want you to do is grab your virtual seats. Let me know where you're visiting in from. And we're going to have just a hearty discussion about happiness and what it really looks like from your perspective, from my perspective. And we're going to talk through that to see, can you really choose to embrace happiness regardless of our circumstances? So go ahead and let me know who's visiting in. And I see you, CTR Media Network. Thank you so much for being here today. We're going to take a moment to share this broadcast with everyone, and then we're going to come back and go right into our discussion, okay? Let me just start by saying that Dr. Jody Baer, who's one of our episode sponsors, has a big conference that's kicking off, and depending upon when you're watching this episode, her conference is in February, so it's actually getting officially ready to happen. But I really want you all to stay connected with Dr. Jody. She is the author of Healthopedia. She's the visionary behind Healthopedia, which has over 42 authors that have contributed to what I would consider more like an encyclopedia for health. And one of the authors is my son, Ivan Jacobs. I think he's the youngest author, if I'm not mistaken. And he is a contributing author in this book. But there are so many phenomenal people that have contributed to the Healthopedia book. And they are hosting a conference that kicked off today. So today, if you're watching this and you're watching it in another month outside of February, this is when this conference was taking place. drjod.com. I want you all to stay connected with her. She's one of our episode sponsors, and I do want you to give her a call and let her know the Kim Jacobs Show is sending you her way for all of the services that she offers. 800-820-0584. Again, 800-820-0584. Thank you so much, Dr. Jody Baer, for being one of our episode sponsors. All right, we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about happiness. Can you choose it or not? We'll be right back. All right, everyone, we are back. And again, we are talking today about happiness. Is it truly a choice? First of all, let's determine what happiness is. According to just dictionary terms, it's the state of being happy. The state of being happy, an emotional state characterized by feelings of joy, satisfaction, contentment, and fulfillment. So when we think about happiness, we're thinking from the perspective of it's bringing you joy, it's excitement, it's full of thrill and fulfillment and contentment. When I look at happiness, I think about it from the perspective that the joy of the Lord is my strength. So there are so many things that happen in life and circumstances and situations that get us in a mode of I really don't think I can bear what I'm dealing with. I don't think I can handle what's being placed on my shoulders. And many times we feel like it's the weight of the world. And maybe people understand it, maybe they don't. But it's when we're personally going through our own struggles, it's oftentimes is very real to us. So for us, we are determining how much heaviness is associated with what it is that we are encountering. And so I think that whenever I'm dealing with some of the life circumstances that I've experienced that were unforeseen, things I never thought would happen in my life, and they genuinely are real circumstances and situations with real emotions attached to it. So we're not in situations where we're just pulling it out of the sky, that we're going through something and we're frustrated, angry, upset. All of those are real emotions that we can have in circumstances too. So I'm not suggesting that when you're going through trying times and trials and tribulations, that you really aren't allowed to express those particular emotions, because those emotions go along with what's happening. So you have to be able to express in some capacity, or you're going to be physically stressed out to the point where maybe some physical damage can be happening, which we don't want to claim that. So when I think about how to be happy, I think from a choice perspective. Every single day when I open my eyes and I wake up, I thank God for the day that He's given me, the things that He may impart into me, even whether I know what they are yet or not. But as He puts it in my spirit, that He wants me to be able to do this, or to help this situation, or to go out and be His mouthpiece in this regard, I want to make sure that I'm open to what it is that He's asking from me or expecting from me for that day. So for me, I enjoy waking up, giving honor and praise and thanks to my Lord and Savior for the opportunity to be able to make a difference in this day, no matter what it may look like or who it may be that He's putting me in the path of. How do I go about representing Him to the best of my ability, and even when it's beyond my ability, to His ability, to be able to help somebody else on this journey called life? So, as we are talking today, tell me what happiness looks like for you. And what I'll do is I'll pop the comments up as I did. We talked yesterday about, well, we talked about the fact of, can you actually have results if you're a nice person? Sometimes people want to know, are you really able to be effective at getting results in your life and still be able to maintain being kind, nice, considerate? And that's what we talked about as well. So if you missed that video or that live stream, make sure you go back and watch. Can you be nice and still get results? And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure you take a moment to do that, because that'll give you, especially if you turn your notifications on, it will allow you to be alerted when we go live. So then you'll automatically get a notification. You can put your comments, even if you want to, on YouTube, and they'll stay there permanently. Or you can put them on any of the platforms that you're watching The Kim Jacobs Show. The Kim Jacobs Show also streams on iHeartRadio and Spotify, SoundCloud, Amazon Music, all types of audio listening devices as well, in case some of you don't want to always watch a show, right? So you can also do it on the streaming services. And we also stream on CTR Media Network, which is in 100 countries and 350 million households. So know that you can find the Kim Jacobs Show pretty much anywhere. All right. All right. So happiness. As we're talking about happiness, I think it's so important for us to determine what happiness means to you. What does it mean? If you're trying to strive for a goal to be accomplished, you have to know what the goal is before you can ever reach the goal. So when you're thinking about happiness in your own life, good morning to you. I'm so glad that you're tuned in. Make sure you all share the broadcast as well and invite your friends. But what is happiness to you? I'd love to hear your thoughts and be able to pop them up. And then I'll also put this link here in case you want to come on, I know yesterday a few people came on and joined in and just joined into the discussion. So feel free to copy and paste that link and it will bring you right into the broadcast. Okay. All right. So when we think about happiness, what I oftentimes think about is looking at some of the signs and things that are important when it comes to what happiness, what are some of the signs that this is the perception of happiness, but one person is different from another person as to how they look at the different signs. So most people say that signs of happiness, and this is just generically speaking after doing quite a bit of research, feeling like you are living the life that you really want to live. That makes a lot of people happy. It's like, yeah, I'm quite pleased with the fact that I'm living this particular type of life. And many times people associate the lifestyle with material things. And so everything that determines your happiness is not based on a material item. Then please understand, I think most people would say that they want material items that they desire to have to make their lives more comfortable. And to me, I think that's important to be able to recognize and be truthful about the fact that you need a car, you need somewhere to live, you need certain things. But then, even if you're able to get higher level of items in those categories, then by all means, you sure should. I disagree with people that suggest that no, you do not need to get a nice car. Why not? If God has blessed you to be able to afford it and be able to afford a nice home and nice land and stuff, you and your family can enjoy that. You can host events. I know when I've been higher financially, I would have certain parts of my home converted to special events where over a bulk amount of people were able to come, and then they also enjoyed the experience as well. And that made me very happy to know that I was able to provide a beautiful experience for some other people as well too, outside of just loving where I was living. Also, just being able to enjoy healthy relationships. A lot of times people consider that something that makes them very happy. Yeah. That's something that a lot of people consider too. That says, you know what, as long as I'm having great family, great friends, great business associates that I personally am connected to, that makes me happy. And that's what some people consider as a sign of their own happiness. And then just being able to having a sense of I've accomplished something great in my life. So I'm not just here on this earth and didn't do what I felt was, or what I believed was part of my calling, my purpose. I was able to accomplish some great things that I really wanted to do while I was here on this earth, because we're all here. We're here for a temporary amount of time. So we all know we're going to have a birth date. We know we're going to have a death date. That's a given. And none of us are going to escape that. We're going to have the day that we came into this world, and all of us, no matter what our race, religion, nationality, spiritual beliefs, whatever it is, we're all going to depart from this earth. Now, our theories may be very different pertaining to what happens in the afterlife. For me, I can tell you. Let me go ahead and tell you all. I am in heaven. When I depart from this earth, I am in heaven and I am with my son, Gabriel Michael Jacobs. There is nothing that anybody can tell me, nothing that anybody can tell me to convince me differently. So everyone is entitled to hang your hat, your soul on whatever you choose. But at the end of the day, believe it with your whole existence, because don't get swayed by the fact that for me, I can, again, I'm speaking for Kim. I am definitely going to heaven because I have to. That's what my son is, and so I'm excited about it. Actually, just feeling that satisfaction. I said birth date, death date, and many times you hear people talk about the dash that separates the two. That dash, in my opinion, is what we're going to be known for, what we will be remembered for. on this earth, the things that we did while we were here, the things that we did to represent our higher power, our higher sources, I will be remembered for the legacy that I leave based on what I did with the gifts and the talents that I had while I was here. So I encourage you to find a higher reason for your existence. I think that personally, for me, it lends to better happiness because then you know that this stuff right here, this is all temporary. This is going to pass, and just like that, like a vapor, is gone. For us, the timing is not as we're seeing it as I am 53 years old, right? Well, in God's eyes, there it's like the timing is not matching in years like that. So we have to be mindful that our time on this earth is really it's just like a vapor. It's so short and limited. So while we have breath in our body, while we have the ability to use any of our activities of our limbs. Some people have limbs, some people don't, and they are still being able to use the gifts and talents that God gave them. I watched America's Got Talent recently, and the young man had no one of his legs was missing, but he made it to the finals of America's Got Talent. You know why? Because he decided to use what he had. He decided to work with what God gave him to work with. And when we stop making excuses and decide that this is what you've given me, God, and I'm going to use it and execute on it to the fullest extent of my ability without making excuses, you'll be so surprised at how happy you'll be. All right. Let's see, just on being able to consider new ideas and thoughts, maybe some things you never experienced before. But because we are sometimes very limited in our thought process, where it comes from the perspective of this is what I'm used to doing, this is what I'm comfortable doing, this is how I do it, this is my routine, I don't deviate from it ever, then guess what? It puts too many limitations on what the possibilities are for your life. And when you do that, you don't really know what area would allow you to have more enjoyment, more fulfillment, more peace and happiness and serenity. We don't know because sometimes we're not open to exploring some of those opportunities. And I know I can speak again personally for 50 years. I mean, not 50 years, let me not say that. Okay. Since I was 18 years old, when I was 18 years old, from 18 to about 50 years old, I literally did not go to the movies by myself. I didn't because I always either had someone my it was my ex-husband that I had with me every single time, almost always, or my children or my family is somebody was with me at the movie theater all the time. Never went by myself. And that's a testament to them. Don't get me wrong. I'm grateful that people wanted to go with me and it was, date time and rendezvous time and all of that. So it's fine. But at the end of the day, going into the season of my life where I had to start going to the movies by myself by force, I learned that I love going to the movies myself personally. So I don't have to have somebody being with me to go eat some popcorn and watch a movie that I want to watch before it leaves the theater. I don't want to wait until it comes on Netflix or Hulu or whatever, the Paramount Plus, all of those things. I don't want to wait until it comes out there. I would like to see it at the theater if I want to. And so for me, I started doing that, and I feel like, whew, whoosha, I've enjoyed myself. I only one time. The funny part is one time because it was a little bit more intense movie. I don't like certain types of movies because I'm too jumpy, but this one had like a thriller component to it, and and I jumped so hard, right? Because I kind of jumped because it startled me, and I leaned on the person next to me. I'm sorry, I just snorted. I did not know the person next to me at all. I never, it was dark. I don't even know who was sitting beside me. And I leaned over and was grabbing the person, and they were like, "What is going on?" So don't get too comfortable if you're going somewhere by yourself, and you're used to having somebody next to you because some things are out of habit. So I automatically be like, "Ah," and grab and cuddle type of thing. But that's not the case. So I have to make sure I'm careful not to just go leaning on somebody else. Okay. Uh, yeah, so we talked about just being able to have your life have meaning and a sense of some type of purpose so that you know exactly why happiness is important. Okay. And we even have on our show, if you haven't heard from a Brandy Michelle, she's one of our Freestyle Friday experts. And so she's been on a few Fridays, and you can go to our YouTube channel and hear from her. She's our happiness expert. So when she's dropping some knowledge about just choosing happiness and being happy, you don't want to miss some of the stuff that she shares. So you just go Brandy, Brandi, Michelle, Mechele, and then you can put plus Kim. If you just go to Kim Jacobs to my YouTube channel, you'll see videos up there from Freestyle Friday, and Brandy Michelle's one of the experts on several of them. So check out those as well. And let me make sure I put our YouTube channel over here for you. Only because if you haven't subscribed, I think it's very beneficial for you to be able to go back and look at some of those different episodes that we have and make sure you subscribe. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me also, yeah, I'm gonna, I want to make sure that I put that there for you. And I'll put it over in the comments section at some point as well so that you'll be able to stay connected through our YouTube channel. And if you already know you haven't subscribed, take a moment and do that, because that is a great way to stay connected and turn your notifications to all. Okay. All right. I see a lot of comments. I'm over here. I'm working today back here by myself, so I'd have missed all these comments. Let me put it up. Let me put some up. Good morning. I see you. Good morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. Emilio says, blessings, blessings. Hello, Emilio. Roman, I'm glad you're on today. You said amen. Sheila, how are you? You know, as a fellow podcaster with CTR Media Network, you guys, if you have not checked out Sheila Heal, go check out her program. You can go right to CTR Media Network, and she's one of the hosts, one of the podcast hosts there, and her content is exceptional. So make sure you go and check her out. She said, so true, so true. My mom is on. Hey, mom. And can you believe I didn't even acknowledge you? I didn't see the comment. Sorry about that. Okay. Good morning, beautiful. A great lady of strength. I love, love, love myself some Kimmy. I love, love, love myself some mommy. And that's for sure. So glad you're on, mom. All right. Glad. Okay. I'm glad to remember you said that whenever I'm around, you say it. You don't mind going to the movies by yourself. Oh, okay. Let me clarify. I usually take my mom and my mother-in-law to the movies with me. Okay. So I always, even if it's spur of the moment in like an hour's notice, I just decide I'm going to go to a movie. I'll say, hey, do you want to go with me? Do you want to go with me? And most of the time it's yes. And so you can't imagine seeing like 70 something and 80-year-old hustling. I'm cracking myself up today. Sorry. This is so funny because they be like hustling to get ready. And that's why sometimes I might say, oh, I don't want to put that pressure on them. But most of the times they say yes. And recently, well, I won't even spill the beans about one funny. It was the funniest thing ever, but I'm not gonna say it on the show because then but yeah, some of the stuff is hilarious. Some of it's super hilarious. All right, so tell me your thoughts, everybody. What does happiness look like from your perspective? Put that in the comment. I'm gonna write that question. What is happiness to you? Please tell me, because I'd love to be able to pop some of your comments up and see what your thoughts are on happiness. Let's talk about it. So what I'll do is I'll give you a second. We're going to take a commercial break. And when we come back, I'd love to be able to hear some of your comments on what happiness is to you. And if for some reason you haven't typed comments, we will carry right on. All right. All right. But today, everybody, we're talking about, can you choose to be happy? Can it really be a choice? Or is it just something that's sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't? It's here nor there. It is what it is. Talk to me. Tell me your thoughts. All right. We'll be right back, everyone, right after this commercial break.
Nothing says I love you more than final expense insurance whole life protection. With funeral advocacy nationwide, saving you and your family 30 to 80% off funerals and cremations. Nothing says I love you more than Get Insured Solutions, LLC. GetInsured.Solutions, 704-499-3616.
All right, everyone, we're back. And yes, GetInsured.Solutions is Samantha Benson, and she works very hard to be able to help you keep some of the expenses, the finances in your home, final life expense in your home versus being able to have to put it all out to burial expenses. So make sure, and she's very good to work with. And I think that the company, based on what I've observed, they make sure you get exactly what you're supposed to get with no questions asked. Just turnaround time is awesome. 704-499-3616. And please let her know the Kim Jacobs Show sent you her way. Again, that's 704-499-3616. All right. So today we're talking about, can you choose to be happy? And I wanted to get some of your thoughts on it. If any of you all want to share, please feel free, and I'll make sure I come back over to your comments. But I think that in choosing to be happy, you want to pursue goals that motivate you. When you are looking at ways that you can improve your happiness, and some of these are multiple part series type of things. So I may talk about this now, and then we'll come back on and we're going to talk about a different component of happiness as well as it pertains to certain categories, because this is a vast topic pertaining to how to be just happy, how to be happy. When you pursue goals that actually motivate you, that will help you feel a better sense of accomplishment. I'm gonna put that, pursue goals that motivate you and inspire you. Because if you're inspired, then you automatically feel more joy, more excitement, more zeal about what it is that you're doing, because it's motivating to you. So make sure you pursue these goals. And how do you determine that? What you can do is say, okay, these are things that I know that I'm good at, that I'm gifted at, based on some of them are just natural gifts and talents that God gave you. So some people can sing. I'm not one of them. Okay. So one time I was at a formal event, and I was a speaker. And then at the end, they had a big banquet, and they called me to come up and to do a song. I was like, I know you're not saying this Kim Jacobs. I thought maybe there was another Kim Jacobs in the room, but not me. You, the Lord said, make a joyful noise, and I do believe I can sing in the shower, and I, sing when I'm hearing the music. I just be saying any words. The words don't even match what the song is saying. And one song was saying, lift up your hands, all ye people. Well, I didn't know that, so I was saying, lift up your hands, party people. Hey, it's like, that is not the song, Kim. And I'm singing it with great confidence. Nothing to do with the real words of the song. So I will ad lib and put in a lyric that is my own, that makes me feel like I'm on beat with what's happening, and hey, having a good time, enjoying the Lord's word and hearing the gospel. I'll be saying any old wrong words. It's so funny. All right. So pursue goals that motivate you and inspire you. And if for some reason you don't know what those goals are or what they should be, ask somebody that you feel has your best interest at heart. Ask them, what do you think I'm really good at that you observe? Because the people that love you and people that you really are a part of your support system, they know what you're good at too. They've observed you. They know how to say, listen. Well, like sometimes Sean is my bestie, but Sean and I will talk, and she was like, okay, Kim, before I even start this story, let me tell you, I did it the Kim way. And I was like, well, what is the Kim way? So and she'll go on to share a story and say, because I was about to tell him some stuff, right? But then I thought about, okay, Kim, she would just take this particular approach. And so I'll go in and I say this, and guess what, Kim? It worked out. So Sean and I, we do that with each other. I'll take the Sean approach, and I'm like, okay, Sean, I had to stand my ground a little bit stronger because, and I was thinking about what would Sean do in this situation, right? And so I take some of the things that she shares as feedback, and she takes some of the things that I share as feedback, even if it's not feedback, but it's just that we remember in the moment how to implement something that one of us told each other we were good at. So have some friends around you that help you pull out the best in you. If that and that will help you determine what goals that motivate you and inspire you. And then you can also, which is huge, ask and you shall receive. So for me, I asked the Lord in my younger years, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to accomplish? What is my purpose here on this earth? What do you expect from me? When you come back and I want to hear, well done, thy good and faithful servant, then what do I need to be doing to make sure I'm not leaving any stones unturned? What am I supposed to be executing on? So find those things. Let's see. Somebody said, oh my gosh, please do not ask her to sing nobody's song. No, not Kim. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I see you, Ben, saying, hey, mom. All right. All right. So whoever your mama is, hey to you from Ben. He's sending a shout out to you. All right. All right. What are some of your goals and dreams? Some things that motivate you? Put some of those in the comments section as well. Because what I've learned is that if you are able to articulate some things that you believe God has for you to do, then ultimately you have a roadmap, you have a plan of action, a blueprint, something that you can formally look at it, say, this is the main goal here. This is the overarching goal. Now, here's what I need to do. I have to go and take some steps back to say, these are the strategies that I'm going to have to implement in order for my true overarching umbrella goal to become a reality. Then you have to take some more reverse engineered steps back and say, what do I need to do every single day as a daily task in order for me to accomplish the big goal? If you don't have a plan, many times you've heard people say, if you don't plan, then you failed to plan. I mean, if you I forget the exact thing. What is it? If you don't plan, then you plan to fail. So it's something to that effect. The point is, if you don't make a plan, expect that nothing's going to happen and expect the fact that it's going to be a failure. Because at the end of the day, you have not put anything anywhere for you to execute on. And I'm not understanding, this is just me, how you can execute on something that is not written down. Okay. Write the plan, write the vision, make it plain so that you know what to be able to execute on. So writing it somewhere, whether it's in a journal, a notebook, you can get it out just some plain loose leaf paper, put it in a binder, whatever works for you. You do not have to go and incur some exorbitant cost for you to be able to write your plan down. Now, I'm also a big believer that you can write a lot of stuff down, but in real life, things happen, situations happen, circumstances happen, things that were seen and things that were unforeseen that threw you completely out of sync. that you could never have prepared for because you didn't know that it was a possibility of it ever happening. So when we don't know that something is a possibility, you can't prepare for something that is not something you had in your thought process, right? When that kind of stuff happens, then you just make adjustments. You become a little more flexible and say, okay, today I thought this was going to happen, but this person got sick. I had to run to the school. I had to go take this person over to the hospital. This person had an emergency surgery. This thing happened that oh my gosh, I was not expecting this. So you have to allow room for life. Like people say, life be life and or whatever, all of these cliches. But life really do be life. And so some of the cliches are accurate. Life happens. And when it happens, we just have to make adjustments and go back. Don't let your goal or your dream of what you're pursuing just completely be let go because God put that in your heart for a reason. If it's something that's nagging you on the inside of your spirit, it's something that God expects for you to do. It may not even be bothersome to somebody else. There are some things that bother you to no end. And then there are things that you look at the other person or the other people and you're like, do y'all not see this? This aggravates me. This is a pet peeve of mine. This is just disturbing me. And all of you all are walking around like zippity doo dah, zippity yay. Oh, what a wonderful day. Everybody's acting regular, but it's not regular for you. That's because it's for you. It's for you. It's for you to do. It's for you to accomplish. It's for you to execute on that God is trusting you with that particular thing. So, happiness, when we say happiness being a choice, which is my theory, yes, you can choose happiness. You can choose happiness. There are some things that are outside of our realm of ability. We can't control the weather. We can't control the time. We can't control the day or the month or whatever it is. That are some things that are well beyond our realm of responsibility and capability. But we can choose to embrace an attitude of gratitude, an attitude that we're great. Oh, you know what? Keith Harrell said that. An attitude of gratitude. I was trying to think of where I remember that from. But Keith Harrell says that. An attitude of gratitude. And there are times when we are, I'm trying to think of how to tell you. When you choose to like be here now, let's talk about that. So when you choose to be here now. Somebody type that. Be here now. I actually talk about that in my book, Extreme Balance Makeover, and you can go to kimjacobshow.com to get a copy of that book, but it's called Extreme Balance Makeover. And in that book, I talk about being able to enjoy the moment. There are so many times that we can focus on what our past life was about. And I do, let me tell you this too. I do believe that some of the things that's happened in our past help shape our future as well. So all of our past things that we've dealt with should not be dismissed because some of those things help you become who you are and a better version of who you are, present tense and in the future. So you don't want to miss those opportunities to glean from your past, okay? Or to pull from your past. But what I will say is that when it comes to being here now, that can help with your happiness because you're able to focus on not the past, not the future, but right in the moment that God has you in at this time. Right now, you all are being here now with the Kim Jacobs Show. You're here, you're taking the time, your very valuable time that you could be using your time to do anything, but you've chosen to spend this time with me. And as a result of that, I am extremely grateful. And so I want to make sure that as we spend this time together, that I'm bringing balance to the world through your household, one household at a time. I want to make sure that as I'm imparting the information that I'm sharing with you, how to pursue your goals that inspire you and motivate you, how to make sure that you're being here now, These are things I want you to be able to implement in your own individual life. Make it real personal to you that no matter what happens, I am going to start being here now, unplugging, unwinding, just taking a moment to say, whoosh, and just enjoy this moment. How many of you are able to really enjoy the moment? Enjoy the moment. I want us to think about that for a minute. I want us to think about it. So much hustle and bustle, and we're always in on mode. We're always thinking about the next thing. We're always thinking about what is to come. But what about what is right now? What about what I have, what I have been given, my blessings, the many blessings, and the many, M-I-N-I blessings. There are so many blessings that we have that if we write them down and literally think about the goodness of God in our lives, we would be able to see how He's blessed us and how much gratitude we should have. Which, when we think about the gratitude, guess what? It automatically makes you happy. Because then you can think about, what do I have that God has blessed me with that maybe I've thought about it, maybe I haven't. But by doing this exercise, it does make you really focus on it. And what we focus on, that's what we know grows more. So if you're focusing on negativity and things that are weighing you down, things that are aggravating you, people that are aggravating you, situations that you feel like you're not getting any outcome at the level that you want, if you focus only on those things, you're going to be heavy laden, bogged down. The weight of the world is going to be on your shoulders. And sometimes you feel like you gained maybe like almost like 50 to 100 pounds because it's physically taking a toll on you. So what I'm suggesting is that you be here now. When you're with your family, enjoy that moment. All of the other stressors are going to be what they are. Nobody's saying that that they went away or anything like that, but you can relish in the moment. Enjoy that moment. Now, don't be so quick to relish in the moment that you don't sit down and think about, how am I going to get this off my plate? Because this is a real aggravating situation. This is a problem for my life. This is something I owe and I have to take care of. So it's certain things that are real that you can't just sweep them under the carpet and be like, I'm here now and I am not worried about any other thing and all of that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when you're in the moment and you have some blessings and things that God has blessed you with, whether it be your family, a time with a girlfriend or a male friend, that you're just hanging out and doing lunch, enjoy the lunch. It's like an hour. Enjoy it. Be there now and enjoy yourself. Now, I was telling somebody recently that I keep my phone, oftentimes I keep it near me. And the reason is because I have children that battle a lung disease. So with 3 children battling this lung disease, I make sure that I keep my phone right near me in case of any kind of emergency. But I'm not going to be doing stuff on the phone pertaining to anything else while I'm doing something with someone, because at the end of the day, my focus is on that person. My energy, my effort, and my time is on that person, not doing social media while I'm talking and eating lunch with the person. That's rude for me to do while I'm sitting there eating with them or fellowshipping with them. So, okay, let's see. Let's go to some of the studio audience comments and see what y'all are saying over there. Okay, Dr. Lotus Rochelle, you know you can come right on anytime. Let me pop this link right here. And if you want to come on and say anything about happiness, feel free. And then, you know what? Dr. Lotus Rochelle just recently, and I don't want to timestamp the show, but I can tell you she had a panel of men that were talking about being caregivers to their parents and to their spouses. Unexpected situations where parents either fell ill or their spouse fell ill or something. And that's not when they got married. They didn't know that that was going to happen. But you have to check out that episode. So go to Lotus Richey Ignites show, and you will be so blessed to hear the testimonies of these men that many times we talk about caregivers and being females, which that's a beautiful thing. But to have these males come on her show, it really blessed my heart. And so I really hope you all check out that episode. Yes, she says, we have to be with people in the moment. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being here, Dr. Lotus. You say, you show great strength and your children are so magnificent. Yes, thank you for that compliment. Happiness, Virginia Rutherford Hall. She has Wings of Wisdom show. If you have not checked that out, she was in the airline industry for over 20 something years and retired, went into a different direction. Now she's hosting a show called The Wings of Wisdom. And that woman's perspective is incredible. So make sure you all check out Virginia Rutherford Hall in her broadcast on Wings of Wisdom. Oh, Ben, I do see your question, and I'm definitely going to pop it up because I respect all of my guests that come on. And you said, is God real? Is God real? And that's a very good question. The answer that I can give you, Ben, is that, how do I explain it? I never go into debate mode with people, Ben, pertaining to God, because at the end of the day, we all have to have our own personal encounter, our own personal relationship. And so I know that I don't know you personally, Ben, but I'm very grateful that you came into the studio today. And I believe that nothing happens by happenstance. So I'm grateful that you took the time to be here today. And I personally ask God to be able to share with you personally if he's real in your life. Okay. And so I that's the best I can do for you, is to tell you that yes, I believe that God is real, and I govern myself accordingly because I do believe that. And I believe that I will reunite with my loved ones again in heaven as well. You heard me say that earlier. And I am sold out. I'm sold out for Christ. It doesn't matter to me what, as in different scriptures, and I'm talking from the word of God, the Bible that I believe in, then no matter what comes, no matter what goes, no matter what height nor depth, nor things from the past, things in the future. And this is in the book of Romans, but anything, and no matter who says whatever, it doesn't matter to me because at the end of the day, I know that he is the author and the finisher of my fate and my faith. All right. All right. I hope that helps you. And so, yes, Ben, I do see your comments, and thank you for being here today. Let's see any other comments. Thank you for the invite. You're welcome, Dr. Lotus. And you all make sure you share this broadcast and tag your friends. And when they get a moment to check it out, they'll be able to benefit from it as well. Another thing I want you to do is to look at things that are negative in our lives, because there are things that are negative in our lives. And let's look at it from a different lens, from a different perspective. What in that situation can you actually learn from and glean from it and say, okay, that didn't work out well for me. That became a whole problem in my life. And when we're honest with ourselves, we can see that that did not turn out the way you thought it was going to turn out. I've had many situations where I'm like, that I have no idea what I did wrong, but whatever I did, it did not turn out the way I was expecting it to turn out. But what did I learn from that situation? What can I implement and do differently as a result of the outcome that I received in that scenario? Do you all ever have situations where you thought it was going to turn out this way and you actually acted accordingly because you thought it was going to turn out with a favorable outcome? But at the end of the day, it backfired. And it was not what it was nothing like what you thought it was going to be. Anybody? If you've had that happen, how did you resolve that situation? So somebody tell me, how did you resolve that situation? And what we're going to do is we're going to take a commercial break. And you know what I'm actually going to do is play this commercial from my friend, Dr. Lotus Richey. If you do not have her planner, it's not too late to get it. It's only February right now when you're watching this because I just time stamped everything. Anyway, make sure you get this planner if you don't have it. Here you go.
Ignite your life and seize the new year by effectively planning it with your 2024 Ignite and Take Flight Planner. It's time to navigate your success with strategic project management. Win with inspiring quotes from inspirational people that will guide you to the success you deserve. And don't forget to track your dollars, habits, empowering notes, and connect with dynamic brands. It's never too late to start planning your success. Get your copy now.
All right, everyone, make sure you get a copy of your planner that Dr. Lotus Richey is promoting, and everything that she promotes is just top of the notch. She has a global team that puts these things together. So she's one of our sponsors here on the Kim Jacobs Show, and I just want to make sure that you all support her as well. And oh, she said, hey, wow, thanks. When you get your planner, tag Kim. Hey, tag me. And we will donate. Oh, I didn't even know that. See, you never know what's going to be your blessing in a situation. So you all tag Kim, tag me whenever you purchase your planner, and she's going to donate $10 of the planner amount to Gabe's Heart Foundation. And for those of you that don't know who Gabe's Heart Foundation is, it's in honor of my son that transitioned. He passed away from this earth, but he lives in heaven. And so he's not lost. He's right in heaven. I know exactly where he is, okay? Even though I want him here. Let me not. I want him here. Don't think that I would prefer right now that he be away from me wherever he is, right? I want him here with me. But at the end of the day, God ultimately gets to decide who goes when and all of that, not me. Not what I was going to say. What was I saying? Okay, so yeah. So $10 goes to Gabe's Heart Foundation, Dr. Lotus Richey said. And then the other thing I want y'all to know is that with Gabe's Heart Foundation, our goal is to raise funds to be able to have defibrillators placed in different places. We have some exciting news about some updates regarding the defibrillators. But what it does is it gives people a chance to have more time waiting for the paramedics to arrive in certain situations and stuff. Then when sudden cardiac arrest happens, you can have the defibrillator on hand, a portable defibrillator that would be able to be used by someone that's hopefully trained to deal with emergency crisis situation like that. And then when the paramedics arrive, the paramedics officially can do some great life-saving measures. But even with the paramedics or with anybody, when it's our time to ultimately go from this earth, we're gonna go. And that's me and anybody else. We know that. Okay. Oh, Mother Harper is in her 80s. I always say that because I'm just so impressed with the fact that she is typing on social media in her 80s and doing such a marvelous job. She said, hey, even with some emojis, she said, great show again. The Lord told me to let myself be happy when I was going through a very hard time, and I am happy and blessed abundantly. Praise God. Yes. All right. All right. And you know what? The irony here is that I'm talking about choosing happiness, but then you see I'm crying, right? And so, like I said, that there are things and circumstances and situations that our emotions are going to be that we go through: anger, being upset, crying, disappointment, aggravation, you name it. It's all different types of emotions that we can have that are real emotions as well. But at the end of it, we can choose how we're going to respond to these situations and how we're going to impact other people's lives through our response. So when people were asking me when my son passed away, well, why do you still coming to church? Of course I'm still coming to church because I'm definitely going to praise my Lord and Savior and still recognize the fact that he could have it could have been any outcome that he chose for it to be or allowed for it to be. But at the end of the day, I still have faith and belief in my Savior being my Savior. So anyway, another thing I think that would be helpful to any of you that are looking to just improve happiness is look at things from that different lens of I talked about that, of just looking at things from a different perspective, what you could have learned from it. And then believe it or not, just exercise. I'm just going to put the word exercise, walk, jog, dance, do whatever is like energy building, rollerblading, soccer, basketball, football, flag football, lacrosse, jousting, taekwondo, whatever is getting your body and your heart rate going. And just, even if it's not some major thing that you're doing other than walking out the door, getting some sunlight, going for a 30-minute brisk walk, but doing something to get that adrenaline going, but also take some of all of the stress off of you as much as it can in that moment. And so I've noticed that whenever I walk and I'm talking with my son and we're going for a walk, or I'm walking with my daughter and we're talking, I just feel a sense of whew, like like a release and a relief. I feel like a sense of whew, that felt good. I get better rest that night. I feel better. And I don't know why you all have not been commenting, but I've lost about 20 pounds and nope, I don't get to hear a lot of people say anything. I do put before and after picture one time and then everybody went in. But y'all act like y'all don't see that I lost 20 something pounds here. So I'm on a mission. Hey. Like my son, he used to do the Spider-Man walk. Hey. All right. So the other thing is just instead of focusing on what you don't have, write what you are grateful for. So if you walk away today with an assignment, what I would love for you to do is write, instead of like writing in your journal, because I've been guilty of this, all of the things that aggravate me. Today was a trip. Da, 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 and I'm going in on things that really bother me for that particular day in my journal, because I think you got to have an outlet for that too. But write in your journal what you are grateful for today. Today, I want y'all to do that. Just take a moment and write in your journal, I'm typing that, what you are grateful for today. And don't even worry about what you're grateful for in all of life. What are you grateful for on this day, today? What makes you smile? What makes you happy? And just like we can choose what outfit we wear, we can choose what football team we support, what basketball team we support, what mayor, what council person, what congressman, what president, all of the stuff that we choose. Choose to be happy. Choose your own happiness because it is paramount. It is necessary. It's necessary for you to choose you. And if something is shaking the foundation of your happiness all the time, then you're going to need to just kind of put some distance between that because you cannot let people be in your world always striving to bring you down. If that's your goal to bring me down or my goal to bring you down, then we need to give each other some space until we know how to be able to properly come together and have a positive, peaceful, synergistic moment and time together. Anybody benefiting from what I'm saying today? If you are, put it in the comments section. And I do want you to know that if any episode of this Kim Jacobs show, any episode has blessed you, if any episode of the Kim Jacobs show has blessed you, I would love for you to contribute to our program. We come on Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's a lot of coming on every day, weekdays. And I have a team of individuals that help make sure everything goes smoothly as well for you in your household. So if you are the person, you know that you're trying to balance all of these different hats, roles, responsibility, family, activities, extracurricular activities, you name it, ministry, all of the stuff that you are managing. And we here at the Kim Jacobs Show provide you with some type of missing piece of the puzzle that's missing in your household. Take a moment to pour into our broadcast. We need the support of community members like yourselves. You can Cash App Kimjacobsinc, or you can do PayPal by going to paypal.me/Kimjacobsinc. And there are other ways for you to join memberships as well. All right, listen. Thank you so much, Effie. Effie, I saw that you did a donation to the Kim Jacobs Show, and I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to you, Dawn. I saw that you did a donation, and these are shout outs as you all donate to the Kim Jacobs Show. I'm definitely going to give some shout outs as well periodically to come on and say, hey, shout out. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Colin Clark, I'd say thank you for your donation. And Terry, I thank you so much for your donation. There are many of you that do support the Kim Jacobs Show, and we appreciate all of you. All right, everyone, that's today's episode. My theory is yes, you can choose happiness. Let the joy of the Lord be your strength. And when the joy of something higher than yourself is your strength, then you can bear what you're dealing with in life, even if it seems unbearable. And in many instances, it would take people out, some of the things that some of us go through. But thank God that He's given us the ability to lean on a higher source of strength and inspiration to say that this too shall pass. This is a temporary thing. If I can get through it, get to the other side of the mountain, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. So I hope today has been encouraging to you, whether you can really choose happiness. I absolutely love you, Mother Harper, and as well. And I love you, Dr. Lotus Rashay. And thank you so much for your comments and being here today. All of you all, yeah, I see all of you. Choose happiness each day in every way. It will help you make it during the tough times. Yay. All right. Wow, Kim. Okay. All right. So I saw a lot of comments. God bless you all. I love you all. And I will see you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. And I'll see you soon. I love you all. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you and make it a great